everybody. I'm Jack Midkiff. Welcome to my podcast. I'm always thankful and excited to know that people are subscribed and logged on and following and all that kind of stuff. So, hey, I encourage you to do that. And it'd be a big help to us, help to me, if you would share this with your friends. Tell somebody about it. If you are subscribed and watching, then something is drawing you back. Now, I hope it's not the old adage, it's kind of like a car wreck. You don't want to look, but you can't help it. I hope it's not that reason why you keep doing that. But I'd like to just tell you thank you and, share it with your friends. And you can follow me on all the socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Of course, I don't tweet much, but I am on there. I do have an account. And you never know when you just get up in the morning and feel the urge to tweet. So follow me on that and TikTok and all the things. And so I want to talk today about a subject that is not an easy thing to do, but it's a needful thing to do, and it's a productive thing to do when it's needed. When it's needed and you don't do it, man, it can bring a world of hurt. But when it's needed and you're willing to do it, even if it doesn't feel good, it'll help you. And the word that I want to talk about in the process is change. Heard somebody say one time, change is not change until you've changed. And that's true. You can talk about it all day. I need to change the way I'm eating. Pass me a Reese cup. Well, you ain't changed. You're just talking about it. Hey, talking's the first step. Not saying anything's bad about that. But I need to start exercising. I'm just laying around and I give me the TV remote. I want to watch another show. Well, you've not changed yet. You're talking about it, which is a good first step, but without follow through on change, everything remains the same. I looked up just before we started this. I looked up the definition of change. The definition of change by old Brother Webster is make someone or something different, alter or modify. Another definition is replace with something else, especially something of the same kind that is newer or better. Substitute one thing for another. That's definition of change. Now, I'm just going to be honest, and if you followed me for very long, you know this about me. I love old stuff. I'm a very nostalgic person. I love to go to antique shops. I love to find things. I love to look at an item and wonder, where's this thing been? Who is this thing been in the presence of? I know that may sound silly, but that's just how I think. I love to have things around me that remind me of good things. To some people, this looks like a black rock. To other people, they would know that this is a piece of coal. But to me, when I look at this black rock, this piece of coal, I think of my father and all that he did to give my family a house. All he did to all the musical instruments that I can sit down and play today, he bought them for me. I have all the instruments he ever bought for me. He bought me a fiddle one time. I still have it. It's in my room. I still play it. I'm sure my children, when they're in the house, I'm sure they love that. But I do. But my dad said to me, because I don't know if you've ever tried to play the fiddle or the steel guitar. Neither one of those has frets, so therefore it's really easy to get the semblance of a cat wailing. It's easy to really get a nasty sound out of that, and I've accomplished that many times. But my sister, or somebody it's probably my sister. She was making a big deal out of it sounding so bad, and my dad said, "I got confidence in Jack. If he sets his mind to it, he can play it." And when I do play a song and I'm able to, not make people plug their ears, that makes me happy because my dad believed in me. This rock makes me think of all those things because this is a piece of coal from one of the coal mines that my dad worked at back in the 60s and 70s. This may have been the one actually he worked at in the 60s before I was even born. I think that's where it came from. This little light belonged to him. Now he didn't use this, but my grandfather used one just like this. This is called a carbine or carbon light. You would put powder down here and you would light this, and they would put this on the front of their mining helmet. Sometimes when we are so connected to the past, it makes it difficult for us to change things to walk into the future. So that is wonderful memories and wonderful things. And I'm sitting in my office, and those things sit in my office all the time. And there's been times that people's asked me, "What's that?" Or "Where'd that come from?" Or "Oh, that's a carbine light." And it'll start a conversation. It brings me happiness to be able to see those, but I have to be careful not to allow the things that I enjoy from the past to keep me from changing into what I need to be for the future, because tomorrow needs an improved version of me. Tomorrow needs me to know how to enter into that day and not how to stay in yesterday. I love Nashville. I've got it tattooed on my arms. I love country music. Therefore, there again, if you've known me for very long, you know that. If you're just getting to know me, welcome to my world. I love country music, and I love everything Nashville just about that has to do with country music. And so I love to collect. I don't collect big, expensive things, but I collect little things that make me happy. This, to you, is just a cigarette lighter. I don't smoke, but I have the cigarette lighter. And matter of fact, this is one of several because it has the Grand Ole Opry on it. It's just something from the past that makes me happy. This cup from Opryland. This glass from the Grand Ole Opry. This, when I was a teenager, the Nashville Network started in 1983, and it ran up through the early 2000s, I think. But the Nashville Network, I would see these mugs on the Nashville Network. I wanted one of those so bad. And at that time, there was no internet. There was no, you had to. I didn't even know how to get one of these. It wasn't available. It wasn't, offered or anything. But I would see these on there, and I was like, oh, my gosh. Well, thank God for eBay. They know my name at eBay, I guarantee it. I've got 2 or 3 of these now just because it makes me happy. I've got one at my house. I've got one here. I've got one somewhere else, I think. But my point is, change is necessary. Let's talk music because I understand that language. I love old country music, but I also appreciate and love newer country music, newer Christian music, lots of different styles and genres. You don't play the new songs with the same attitude as you play the old songs, because the chord progressions are different, the chord patterns are different, the rhythms are different. So for me to be relevant today, I have to adapt from what I've always been used to into a mindset of being able to where, maybe it was a 2-4 or a 4-4 time. Now it's a 6-8, or it's something totally different rhythmatically. Where I grew up with the hi-hat being a shuffle. I can't remember the last time I've heard a shuffle on the hi-hat on a new song. It's just, that's not the sonic, that's not the sound sonically that's produced today. So I can make a decision that I go, I'm not changing. I'm going to stay right where I'm at musically. I'm going to remain. I'm just going to play the old stuff, and I can enjoy that in my living room because that's about the only place it's relevant sometimes. Or I can adapt and change. And you know what? To change, to play a different style of music, doesn't mean that I'm compromising what I like. It doesn't mean that I compromise in, I think so many times people, when, for instance, let's talk about church for a minute. If we change the order of service, or we change the ambiance, why have you got it dark? I've got that question so many times from people that I know, people that are friends, that are sincerely asking why, because that's not normal to them. I've been asked by critics in a condescending way, why have you got it dark in that sanctuary? Why do you have all those theatrical lights on the stage? Why do you and there again, I want to be, the first one to point out the message of that I preach has not changed, and it won't change, because I preach and talk about the love of Jesus Christ. But the methods have to change, or you don't remain relevant. Somebody say, well, the Word of God is relevant enough. Okay, I agree with that. But bringing in the sheaves is not relevant in the world today. The music, the worship music of 50 years ago, I'm not saying it's not good. Just the same way that I love Fair and Young from back in the 60s and 70s. Some of y'all don't even know who that is. But I do. I know who Mickey Newberry is. I know who Chris Christopherson is. You might know him because he's done a little more than just singing. But my point is, I still regard and appreciate all the old country singers from back in the day. Listen to them almost daily. Well, I do listen to them daily, maybe almost hourly. I don't stop liking old country music because the new country music's here, and because I do like the new country music. The same way as I don't stop appreciating the methods of yesterday in the church world just because we embrace methods in today. And it also goes into your life. Man, oh man, oh man, have I ever figured out as a parent that I can't parent the same way today as I did 20 years ago. Why? Because my children are not 20 years ago. 20 years ago, my oldest would have been 11. My daughter would just be born, and my middle son would be 5, 6. So I still love them the same. Quite frankly, my intentions for them are still the same. my desires for them are still the same. But my methods and even some of my ideologies on parenting have had to change and migrate into where they are today. Do I get it right all the time? Nope. That's why I have to change, because every change and every tweak you make is not going to be the right one or the perfect one. But you just keep a mindset of being able to adapt to the situation, not compromising your beliefs, not giving in to something that's wrong, but being able to move into today and tomorrow and the next day so that you can remain relevant as a person, so that you can be fulfilled as a person. One of the saddest things that I see is older people believing that they're not relevant today. One of the saddest things is when an older person says, well, I don't have anything to offer anymore. Because that's not true. You do have something to offer. You have experiences at 70 that I don't have at 53. I have experiences at 53 that someone at 25 don't have. But you, as you age, you are very relevant. You're very needed. You're very important. But nobody can change for you but you. It is so exciting to me and so wonderful to me when I see an older person embracing a smartphone or the internet or, something like that. Why? It's not that you have to have it all figured out. It's not that you have to, but when you enter into that world, then you have opened yourself up to be relevant to the 20s and 30s and 40-year-olds. Change is so important. I think one of the times that I understood that change is so necessary, important, and valuable is when my wife passed away. And here's why. I can't change out pictures of her like I can of other people, because there's no new pictures being taken anymore. And I'm not going to get emotional, although I could. Her life on this earth, her human life on this earth, stopped. Now, did her life stop? No. We get to go see her again. She's in heaven, and she's doing a lot better than we are. And that's hope. That's the hope we have. But I understood change in a way that I never understood it before when that happened. Is because when you stop changing, it is really, and this is in physical sense. I'm talking about a death right now. So yes, it means that, but it means in a lot of other areas too. When you stop changing, when you stop changing your ideology on church, not the message, but the methods, it'll start to die. It'll start to dwindle. When you stop changing your ideologies on music, your relevance starts to die. It starts to become ineffective. And musicians, your phone will ring less and less. My point is this. Don't look at change as a bad thing. Embrace the past. Be able to look at a rock and celebrate your father's accomplishments. Be able to look at a cup and remember the inspiration as a teenager in Sevierville, Tennessee, in your bedroom with your piano set up, learning every lick you could learn on that because you were inspired by this network and what was on it. Remember those things and grow from that. But the Nashville Network is no longer on TV other than videos. My dad's been gone, a long time, and he's not a coal miner anymore. This is totally and completely useless today other than sitting on my desk. You stay in the past. You don't move to the future. But if you look at the past and embrace the strength from that so that you can move on. I had somebody one time, I saw this comment that they were criticizing the Grand Ole Opry for changing. I love the Grand Ole Opry. They were criticizing it. And this guy just so happened to be Ernest Tubbs' nephew. And I mean, he was railing on the Grand Ole Opry. And I just said to him, I love classic music too, but do you understand that your uncle was the first man to ever bring an electric guitar to the stage of the Grand Ole Opry? And before that, they would not allow any kind of electrified instruments on the stage. But because your uncle blazed the way and said, hey, I'm going to do this, and he changed the direction of music. Now, of course, we look at his uncle as being an old timer. As a matter of fact, he's been gone since the 80s. But my point is this. Every innovative, great thing today will become a memory of the past at some point. But today, it's new, it's fresh, it's a change. Don't be scared of change. Be careful. Change the right way. Make sure you're changing in a productive way. Make sure that you're doing good things with the change. But change is not change until you've changed. So today, if it's no more than walking for, a quarter mile, walking for 5 minutes, if you've been inactive and your health is declining, walking that small amount, starting that exercise, that's a change, and that's in the right direction. Maybe your eating habits have been just horrendous. Today, make a change. Maybe if it's a small change, make a change. Pastors, you're wondering why there's no young people at your church. You're wondering why your church is dwindling down. Make a change. Make it prayerfully, make it wisely, but make a change. And watch God do some great things with the change. Change is not change until you've changed. So, change. You will, whether you embrace it or not. You're going to change. Look in the mirror today and then look at a picture from 10 years ago. You changed. Hey, I'm Jack Midkiff. Thanks for being a part of my podcast. As I said earlier, share this with all your friends. Go follow me on all the socials. Subscribe and hit the notification on YouTube. And, hey, we'll change the subject and be back here the next time. Have a great day.